What's going on, people? Myke C-Town here with my top 30 favorite albums of 2019 list. Yes, it's a little bit late, but hey, that's how I roll. I was trying to do a top 25, but it was stressing me out trying to pull 5 albums off of this list, so I kept it at 30, which is, I think, a solid number. So I'm going to try to kind of run through this because this is a rather long list and I don't want this video to be too long. But before we get into the list, just in case you guys didn't notice, this is my list. This is not your list. If you do not like my list, nobody cares. But you're more than welcome to drop your list down there in the comment section and we can all pick it apart and have some fun talking about albums that maybe I missed that you didn't. And for those of you that are new to my channel, you'll notice that this list does not contain hip-hop albums, and that's because every year I do a best hip-hop of the year list with my guys at Dead End Hip Hop. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you go subscribe over there and you'll see that list over there. But we're gonna go ahead and jump into this. Let's go! At number 30, we have a name I'm going to butcher, but this is the Les Chasseurs de la Nuit and Burial Hex split. Les Chasseurs de la Nuit is Kim Larson from the neo-folk band Of the One and the Moon, and Burial Hex is a dark industrial act, and they came together to create this beautiful project that at times it's really harsh, other times it's really ambient with some neo-folk elements, some militaristic elements, but all around it's great. At number 29, we have Current 93 with Invocations of Almost. This is the soundtrack to David Tibet's art show that he did a little while ago in California that I was privileged to actually attend. But this sounds like the soundtrack to a horror movie, super dark and creepy, kind of recalls some older soundscapey Current 93 stuff. So check it out if you like that. At number 28, we have Ren Blender with Blade and Honor. This is the newest project from Zulthis of Basmu and Fles. Great, riffy, but really raw black metal. At number 27, we have Full of Hell with Weeping Choir. Nothing to really break down here. It's Full of Hell doing what Full of Hell does. Insane, intense, grind. Perfect to put on when I'm in that kind of mood. At number 26, we have Wagner Odegaard with Om Domdag Och de Femton Jartiken, and I know I butchered that. But this is really cool punky black metal from the guy that does Vulcanaz. I'm glad people are finally catching on to this because when I did my mid-year it seemed like no one was talking about it, but this is a fantastic album. At number 25 we have Swans with Leaving Meaning. I think this is what the reunion Swans albums have actually been missing. This has more of that sound that drew me in to the Swans records. It's still droney, but I like the darker, more acoustic sounds on this one. At number 24, we have Geheimnisval with Venomous Sorcery Through Hidden Darkness. Kind of showed up out of nowhere and took everyone by storm. It's raw black metal with really, really memorable riffs. At number 23, we have Health with Volume 4, Slaves of Fear. Experimental noise rock that floats between having these really harsh parts with these beautiful, soothing parts, and the way they combine them is seamless. At number 22, we have Orville Peck with Pony. Like I said before, this is like Elvis meets Roy Orbison meets Sisters of Mercy. I can't think of a better way to describe this album. It's so catchy and so well written. At number 21, we have Alcis with Spiritual Instinct. This album is beautiful. The sound is more akin to the older Alcis material where they kind of had more of a black metal sound but with shoegazy parts. But the songwriting here, in my opinion, is a bit more mature than those albums. There are some great riffs here and the vocal performances are beautiful. At number 20, we have Tor Lundvall with A Strangeness in Motion. This is psychedelic synth pop from someone who typically does kind of sparse, dark ambient albums, but I think this is just great and I really hope that he does more albums like this. At number 19, we have Magua with Age of Excuse. At this point, Magua has had a lot of imitators, but no one can do it like they do it. It's not quite as good as their previous albums, but I'm a sucker for this sound. And there's that one part in the last song where the music drops out and it's just the vocals, and then when it comes back in, oh my god, it's fucking glorious. At number 18, we have Mayhem with Damon. A nice return to form, in my opinion. I haven't been genuinely interested in a Mayhem album since Grand Declaration of War, which, yes, I love that album. But this sounds like it could have come right after Wolfslayer Abyss. It's so much better than their past few albums, which in my opinion were rather stale. At number 17, we have The Drums with Brutalism. This is pretentious pop music that's dancey and fun, but also has some meaning and some content behind it. But I really enjoyed this album. At number 16, we have Vol with, I'm gonna butcher this, Visioen van het Verborgen Land. Got the land part. But yeah, I loved their 2017 album a whole lot, but this one is on a whole new level. It's really nasty, early second wave black metal worship. Sounds a lot like Dark Throne with a really sinister vibe to it. At number 15, we have Black Celeste with Transfixion of Spirits. What there to say about a new Black Celeste album? They do what they do and they do it really well. Really raw black metal with a mysterious vibe to it. And yeah, they're simply one of the best doing this sound right now. At number 14, we have Raven Zhang with, again, gonna butcher it, Uit en Duister Verleden. Funny enough, this is the same guy that does Vol, and I fucking destroyed that album title as well. But yeah, this is great raw black metal from the Netherlands, and nothing to really break down here. It's just really well put together. At number 13, we have Lana Del Rey with Norman fucking Rockwell. Lana Del Rey at her best. Her soft and sultry brand of dream pop is so good here. But yeah, I think this is definitely one of her best records. At number 12, we have Pissgrave with Posthumous Humiliation. Brutal, nasty death metal that's violent and pissed off, and I just love it for when I'm in that mood for this type of death metal. At number 11, we have Trust with The Destroyer Part 1. Canadian dark wave done right. Catchy but super melodic, and this is becoming my favorite release of theirs. At number 10, Kekt Arak with Night and Love. This is raw, this is nasty, this is ugly, but there's a certain atmospheric quality about it, and I just love it. It should probably be higher on this list, but I'm not redoing it. At number 9, we have Father Befouled with Holy Rotten Blood. Ugly, nasty, and super evil death metal. These guys straight up never disappoint, and this release has some of my favorite material by them. At number 8, we have the self-titled album from Purple Mountains. This is the album from David Berman of Silver Jews, and the music here is like a mix of indie rock and Americana with some of the most heartbreaking but honest and relatable lyrics. And he released this, and then a month later he killed himself. So rest in peace to David Berman, but he left behind an incredible piece of work. At number 7, we have Departure Chandelier with Antichrist Rise to Power. Kind of weird and unorthodox black metal from members of Ashpool and Akitsa, and it kind of sounds like a mixture of those two bands, but with some really, really good riffs. At number 6, we have Drab Majesty with Modern Mirror. This is Drab Majesty's best album. It's synth pop, it's goth, it's shoegaze. It's like they're in this sweet spot between The Cure, New Order, and Cocteau Twins. But this album is just great. At number 5, we have Guardsgaster with Slit Throat Requiem. So for those who watched my mid-year video, you'll remember that this was #1 for me back in June, but some other things came out and simply sucked me in more. But this is still an amazing symphonic black metal album that's super well done. Probably one of the best symphonic black metal albums that's come out in the past decade. At #4, we have Rome with L'Scenerie di Heliodoro. This is one of Rome's best records. I typically like their albums, but I tend to fall out of interest with them as time goes along. But this one actually stuck with me, and it's becoming one of my favorite releases by them. At #3, we have Sardigos with O Sangue da Noite. Sorry to all my Spanish speaking folks out there. I'm a gringo, what you want me to do? But I'd never heard of this band before hearing this album, and holy shit, this fucking floored me. It's amazing. It's blackened death metal, but super dark, super evil, amazing riffs, a lot of atmosphere. And when I first discovered this, I swear, I think I listened to this 5 times in a row straight, but it's amazing. At #2, we have Grev with Nordarikits Strid. This is an album that I haven't seen a whole lot of people talking about, and I'm not really sure why, but it's another Swati the Thews project, and it's incredible. It's exactly the type of thing that I want to hear from him, this kind of mystical black metal with great riffs, great synth work, these tortured, shrieked vocals. It's truly ridiculous how much I listened to this album, but it's fantastic. The 7-inch that they did earlier this year was great, but this is so much better. And my favorite album of the year goes to Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds with Ghosteen. I've loved Nick Cave's last few albums. Skeleton Tree was a beautiful album. Chase the Sky Away was great with these elements of weirdness to it, but this album to me is the best thing that Nick Cave has done in many, many, many years. It's a record about sorting through and dealing with grief, obviously due to the passing of his 15-year-old son. And the musical choices that he took on this album are astonishing. Every line here is poetry. Every musical moment on the album is magical. He created this ethereal feel to this album that is just, it sucks you in and it doesn't let you go. His haunting voice, the ambient synthy sounds he uses, the piano. I feel like you can just sit back and let yourself fall into this album. It's gorgeous, and yeah, I think Nick Cave outdid himself. It definitely feels weird drawing this kind of enjoyment from an album that's so much about grief and loss. But yeah, that's what art is about to me, guys, and I think this album is gorgeous, and if you've not heard it yet, please, please, please give it a go. But that's gonna do it for my list. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Again, if you did not, drop your list down below. Even if you did enjoy it, drop your list down below. Let's keep this fun. Let's talk about music. For those of you that asked, I do have a best movies of 2019 video coming out maybe in a few days, so keep your eye open for that. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this as usual. Thank you for living, thank you for loving, thank you for being you. Happy fucking New Year. Hopefully you guys are having a good one so far, because this is gonna be your year, bruh. This is your year. Don't let nobody tell you different, man. Peace out, boy.